So this is War in Spain, 1936 to 1939. And hang on, I might turn the music down a little bit. Is that the menu? There we go. That's probably fine. Oh, and that made that middle pop-up disappear. Okay, now still getting a handle on the controls. I am in the process of reading the manual. I'm about 110 pages into the 440-page manual, so I'm working on it, but figured I might as well get a start on this game anyway. Well, actually, I wanted to get a start on the game today specifically because it is July 17th, 2026, exactly 80 years after the Spanish Civil War began. So I thought it might be neat to play one turn a day. So the game does use WeGo, turn-based. Each turn is one day. So I figured it might be neat to play one turn a day, day by day, exactly 80 years on the dot after the actual war, or sorry, 90 years on the dot after the actual war. Yeah, that is. Yeah, 90 years on the dot. Oh, and it just made things disappear again. So I need to be careful where I click. I'm figuring that out. I will get the hang of this game engine eventually. And I guess I'll also need to figure out what kind of format do I want to do these videos. I think I kind of want to do a bit of a week-by-week thing, sort of in the same vein as sort of the real-time history videos, except instead of actual history, it's alternate wargaming history, week by week, exactly 90 years after the fact. So, on this first day of me playing the game, for the first day of the Spanish Civil War, let's see, the nationalist outbreak has only just started. I have various land combat units throughout the map, and I guess the first thing I need to do is survive the first day. Well, I need to come up with a strategy for how am I going to wage this war. So I guess the first thing, the first priority is don't lose. Don't let the nationalists wipe out my territory, the territory under my control. The game does have a fairly thoroughly detailed logistics model, and I think I will be getting aid from outside, as will the enemy, so making sure my trade routes are secure and maybe trying to block the enemies would also be worth doing. And, oh, I already started out in control of one or two of these islands here. Actually, two of them, Ibiza and Mallorca, and the nationalists are starting in control of Minorca. Or, hang on. I am the Republicans, right? I think I clicked on, or I left it on the default, which I think is the Republican player. So, oh, hang on, this is the Land Combat Unit list, or LCU list. It took me longer than I would have liked to figure out what LCU means, because the first time the acronym appears in the manual, it is not spelled out. Like, eventually the manual referred to land combat units, and like, oh, that's probably what LCU refers to. But, yeah, generally a good idea, I think, to... spell out your acronyms the first time they appear in any text. Okay, that... So this UI here is a bit scrunched together. Oh well. Okay, so I have... And I wonder... Was this the thing that might fix that? Oh, well... Hang on, I will pause and reload the game momentarily. Okay, and that should have looked pretty seamless to you, since I just paused the recording while I reloaded the game. And that doesn't seem to have fixed the troops being scrunched in their hand. Did it actually? Okay, so I guess that actually isn't as helpful as I thought. Okay, but now we've got our pop-up back here. A state of war is declared in Melilla at 5 p.m. in the name of General Franco, Commander-Chief of the Moroccan forces. Legionnaires and regulars deploy throughout Melilla, occupying the main government buildings and arresting leftist and Union activists. By nightfall, the city is in the hands of the rebels. Okay, basically, the Spanish Civil War has started. Okay. Well. So it looks like, first thing, we've got some enemy troops in... Wait a minute, hang on. Okay, so I have... How many troops? Okay. So these are my land combat units at Madrid. Now we've also got this scroll right here. Figure eventually I will get the hang of this engine. Okay, so now... I think the first thing I want to do is maybe pile more troops into Madrid to ensure that we have enough forces to win that initial struggle for the capital. Right, so how do I move them? I think eventually they will be releasing World War II games on this engine. So, best figure out the engine before they get to World War II. War in Spain is the learning experience. You know, the Spanish Civil War is the learning experience for the actual belligerents. So it shall be the learning experience for me as well. Okay, so that just affects which... somewhere around here. Oh, why wouldn't you use artillery by default? Oh. Is that where the move is? It's hidden. Okay, how do I get this UI to be a bit less scrunched up so I can actually see? Okay, now what if I want to move all of them at the same time? Okay, so we've got... So which ones have I now ordered to move? Okay, that one's static. We've got a little bit of text under there that's being hidden by the scrunched up UI here. There doesn't seem to be any way to expand this to get a little bit more room. Well, okay, I think we've... Is there anything... Okay, it looks like Unsol MO, so maybe that's cancel move scrunched up and hidden in there. So if I don't want to click that because that'll cancel their move. Okay. Oh. So I think for now I will focus on, is there any other combat units I want to move around on the first day of the war? You're static, so can't be moved. Okay, you're probably fine where you are there. So this is nationalist-controlled territory down here. And confusingly enough, the troops that are on my side appear to be colored in red, where the green... I mean, you can tell those have to be enemy because they got a question mark, meaning... which could only mean that I don't have complete information about them. Okay, it looks like this is... Okay, I am getting some... These big black blocks here provide some useful information, but it might be nice if they were a little bit smaller. I think one of the videos, there's tutorial videos out there, I think one of them did mention there's a way to make it smaller. I'll have to look at that again somewhere. Okay, but we've got another city where both nationalist and Republican troops are present at the same time. So we've got this 20 here. Oh, it's number 20, representing a combat value of 20. Is that just my troop? And then we get the slash there, with red and green, which indicates that we've got both friendly and enemy troops in that hex. What I don't know is that 20 just my combat power? Do we have any estimate of the enemy's relative combat power? I click on... Okay. We know next to nothing about these guys. My own troops, however... what do I know about my own troops here? Oh, there's 223 of these guys. They have no guns, no artillery pieces. Okay, we've got soft factors here: experience, morale suppression, disruption, fatigue. Some logistical information here. They're not motorized, so they don't have or use any fuel. Bulk, I think, will be important when I want to move them, especially through transports, if I want to conduct an amphibious invasion at some point, which I will want to do. Okay, let's take a look at... There we go. It actually moves faster when you're there. Okay, so with the knowledge that red means friendly and green means enemy, which is very confusing. I have no idea why they would color code it that way. So Minorca is the island I control, where the nationalists control Mallorca and Ibiza. So I think most of my foreign aid will be coming from the Soviet Union, which... Where did the mini-map go? There was a mini-map around here somewhere. No, it is nominally still there. It's just gone invisible for some reason. Oh well. But I get, the Soviets, their Atlantic ports are kind of far north in the Arctic. Their warm weather ports are in the Black Sea. So I expect the most convenient route for them to get foreign aid to my forces will be through the Mediterranean. So taking these islands here so that the nationalists can't use those as bases from which to interdict my my foreign aid, I think needs to be a priority for me. Probably go for Ibiza first, since it's smaller, lower hanging fruit. Actually, Formentera, that's the smallest. Probably will be the easiest to take and will be good for me to gain experience with conducting amphibious operations. And once it's taken, it'll be a good stepping stone, a good point from which to launch an invasion of Ibiza. Once I've taken Ibiza, see, there is this small unnamed on the game map island there. But yeah, I think it's once I've got Ibiza, then I'll go for Mallorca. At some point in the war, I'm going to want to try to link up my forces in the south of Spain with my forces in the north. And part of the nature of this war breaking out the way it did is the front lines are all kind of all over the place. So this is Portugal. We're not too worried about them. But I've got a couple of enclaves in the north there. I control a lot of the east and most of the south of the country. The nationalists control a tiny area in the southwest. A lot of the, I guess we'll call it center north and northwest tip, as well as the Spanish colonies in North Africa, are under nationalist control. I don't think it'll be worth the effort to try to take Spanish Morocco, as it is called on the game map here, Morocco. I don't think that'll require diverting lots of forces off of the European continent, where the bulk of the fighting is expected to be. Crushing this enclave will probably be one of the first offensive actions I should try to undertake. Once that's done, that'll make it easier to focus as many forces as possible up north. Of course, chewing off salients like that should be the easier thing to do, but if I can get connected to my forces up north, that'll make things a little bit easier. Okay, but I think the main thing I'm going to do in this first turn is, as I get the hang of ordering these troops around, but I want to concentrate as much overwhelming combat power as possible in the areas where my forces are involved in a fight already with the Republicans. Let's see. Oh, is there... Oh, hang on. Okay, so I have more options I can set here. So, yeah, the kind of combat is... Okay, I don't know what I'm facing there, so I want you to conduct a cautious attack there. And you guys... I guess what I really want you to do is reinforce the forces I already have there. So I don't know if defend is quite the thing I want to do. Yeah, I think, defend. Get in there, reinforce the forces I already have in Oviedo. I think playing this game is going to give me a much better understanding of Spanish geography, which my current understanding, as you can no doubt tell, is pretty poor. That's a static unit, I can't move them. I've already given... Okay, that's a static unit. I think I've already given you orders, or have I? Yeah, okay. One of the things I'll need to figure out is how to get the UI not so scrunched up like that. You can move, but you're also... only got a combat value of 1. I think... I feel like a lot of the units that are not... Like, I'm not quite sure yet what, rest slash train, like the specifics of how that's... of what that's going to do in the game. I can only assume, the soldiers set with that, the units set with that command will get better in some way over time. Some of the soft factors will increase. Well, okay, now let's leave it on combat, actually. Units that don't find themselves in a fight on day one can pivot to resting. These forces in the north, of course, won't be able to participate in operations in the south very much until I link up, so I might as well have them start trying to link up with the south early on, or sit tight and just build up strength, possibly. Another thing they could do is maybe try to cut up the nationalist territory into further pockets, like maybe a drive through this forest here to Portugal, or through this forest over these mountains to Portugal could create a pocket in the northwest corner there. Okay, we've got lots of areas where we have day one combat. Alright, I already gave you a move order. No, static, static. You can move. You're static. Do I want you to move? Because maybe I could have you attack that position over there, which might be a useful thing to do, but also there are unknown nationalist forces near La Robla, which they might try to advance north. Right now you're on the road in position to interdict them. Okay. 370 men and 19 guns in that hex, which is good. Why wouldn't you always use artillery fire? I guess if you're low on artillery ammunition and want to save it up. Oh, wait, hang on. That doesn't say use artillery fire. That is use artillery for dire, and then the rest of it is cut off. I'll leave that unchecked until I can figure out what that means. Alright, so we've got lots of units here. I probably want to start moving them somewhere where they can be more useful. Is there a way to tell how long that'll take? Oh, hang on. Yeah, we'll go ahead and have them move all the way over there. That's a static unit. So the attack options are, well, I guess artillery barrage could be considered maybe a light kind of attack, but deliberate attack, shock attack, and cautious attack. As cautious attack would be kind of feel around the edges, and if things seem favorable, then move in. Deliberate attack, of course, is right out of any manual. That is um, an attack in which you take um, the planning and preparation time you need to have a well thought out set piece attack. So I can only assume that shock attack would be what most manuals would refer to as a hasty attack, where you encounter the enemy and launch right into an attack without sitting down for hours ahead of time to deliberately plan it out. Which obviously deliberate attacks are better if you have time. A hasty attack is often necessary if you want to keep the momentum of maneuver warfare going. But I think... part of what I'm thinking about here is we've got all these locations where we have on day one mix of nationalist and Republican forces. Wherever possible, I'm trying to think of about reinforcing those areas to try to win, or give my force the best chance possible of winning each of these fights. I think there's a lot of useful information that's being cut off here. I could just make out troops. I think that's 256 guns. 2? Is that right? It says total guns 9 here, so if that's a 2, that has to be a 7. That's clearly not a 7. I don't know. Oh, right, but which unit did I select and... Where... Oh, right, hang on. I also want you to conduct a deliberate attack. Oh, maybe hasty attack would be better if we're trying to rush to the aid of some of these forces. I figure the aid will be more effective if it's deliberate, but moving in to support a force that's already engaged in combat doesn't do them much good if you take so long that they've already lost by the time you actually start moving in. So maybe a shock attack. Where should I send you? This looks like the bigger fight here. Yeah. Now, of course, these guys have like a 10th the combat power of what's already in this hex, but who knows? Maybe they'll tip the balance. Okay. I've also got that force there. I don't know what they're gonna do. And we want to change these guys to shock attack. And these guys, they are defending an airfield. I probably don't want to move them off of that, just in case those forces, the nationalist forces in that hex, move that way. And for the same reason, I probably don't want to move these guys here. And for the same reason, I probably don't want to move these guys there. So they are effectively pinned in place by these two unknown nationalist forces. And you're static, static. Yeah, this first day is, of course, going to take the longest because first turn orders often take the longest with turn-based games, just because no one is already in the middle of executing other orders. And I'm also trying to figure out the game engine at the same time. I think I am getting the hang of moving troops around, probably. We'll see what they actually do when the turn ends. Oh, you're like a 24th of the combat power that's already in Granada. Probably not much point. You, on the other hand, that is combat power of 11. That is, hang on, 314 men. Nine vehicles, no guns. And yeah, go into a shock attack, which I assume means a hasty attack. Okay. I've got much larger concentrations of combat power spread around here. Not quite sure what to do with them yet. I will, of course, at some point want to start moving them to somewhere where they can fight something. But well, they are already at the coast. And one of my first offensive objectives, like I said, is going to be to try to take some of these islands. I think, yeah, I will designate Formentera as my first offensive objective. First thing I'll try to seize, then leap onto Mallorca. Next offensive objective will be to try to squeeze out this pocket here. We may be able to get a good start on squeezing out the pocket of nationalist forces in Corduba basically right away. Each of these... hang on. So each of these hexes is 5 nautical miles, which is... oh, I hate nautical miles so much. What is that in normal, sensible units? What is a nautical mile? Like 1.8 kilometers, I think. So each of these hexes is about 9 kilometers, I think. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes I'm having these guys travel. So that is 54 kilometers, or, well, only if a nautical mile is exactly 1.8 kilometers. It isn't exactly. I don't know what it is exactly. Well, more than 50 kilometers. So they're probably not going to get there in a day. Maybe the fighting will be over by the time they get there. But on the off chance that it's not fighting, it's not over, it's best if they're already on their way as soon as possible. And if the forces in Corduba have already won by the time they get there, then they'll just join up and they'll be helping to concentrate forces a little bit. Static. Okay. Do I have anything further to do this turn? I'm honestly not sure. I'll keep chipping away at the manual, rewatch some of the tutorial videos. By the time this war is over, I may not be victorious, but I will have gotten the hang of the engine, and will then be in a much better position to fight and win the next war. I think one of the rules I'm going to set for myself is I'm going to try to play a turn a day, keep that date up there the same as this date down here, minus the year. Yeah, and I am only going to play this game once. I'll, of course, I think, play other games that are released on the same engine, but I don't want to memorize the optimal strategy for winning. That won't help me get better at thinking on the grand strategic layer. That'll just that won't get me better at strategy in general terms. That'll just get me better at winning this specific war, which obviously the actual historical figures only had a chance to fight it once, so I will impose the same limitation on myself. I'm not allowed to try and memorize the optimal way to fight this war by fighting it multiple times. Yeah. No. Okay. I will, I think... Let's... Oh, okay. Most of the units in this hex are static, but let's have you move to join up with them. That'll increase the combat power of this... Oh, wait, never mind. They're all static. Cancel move. Just move up there. That way. And we'll see which direction the nationalist forces try to make a move next turn. Okay, so I think this must be the end turn button. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have made all of the important decisions that need to be made on day one. I'll keep chipping away on the manual. And each turn is only a day, so if I haven't made all the decisions that would have been optimal to make on day one, at least they'll only be a day or two, or however many turns it takes for me to figure out that I need to make those decisions late. Oh, okay, so we've got some naval action here. What's going on here? That is PG Leia. What's a PG? What's a CD? Okay. Naval Combat Summary. Task Force Fire, Under Fire. Right, okay, so I will need to move around some of my... Think about my naval units as well. Program fleet, okay, shell hits, 2 heavy fires, heavy damage. Okay, so that doesn't sound great. Okay, I'm done reading this summary. How do I make it... Ah, okay, it's... What the heck? Okay, and we've got more fighting. There's clearly some things I need to do to optimize how I've got the interface right now. Okay. Ah, okay, and we've got some combat. So... Nationalists conducted a cautious attack. Where is that? It's somewhere around here is where they conducted that attack. Where precisely is that? Is there a jump to Hex? Oh, that is... Interesting. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess that this is not supposed to be doing this. Okay, so... Attack 82, 120, so that's the grid coordinates for which hex it is, which would be... helpful if I could, like, see the edges of the grid to see the numbers. Okay, apparently I do have that selected. And 82, 120. Come on, I want to know where this fight is taking place. Well, okay, I can't quite figure that out. In any case, the attacker, which I believe is the Nationalists are conducting a cautious attack at Corduba. They have taken 28 casualties, with one squad getting disabled in the attempt. Looks like where they attacked, I had a combat, or AV, is that like attack value of 24? They had a value of 2, so no wonder they took 28 casualties. I don't see any casualties listed for me, so I assume that means they didn't take any. So, excellent. Okay, Nationalist shock attack. Oh, that did not go great for me. Alright. But again, where is this? This is... Again, you know, probably somewhere in the area that the map jumped me to. But where precisely? That would be nice to know. So this did not go great for me, apparently. Oh, hang on. So they conducted a shock attack at Seville. Showing off my ignorance of Spanish geography here. Where precisely is Seville? I mean, it's, you know, famous city. I know of it. I'm not seeing the name on the map anywhere. I assumed it would be in the general region of where the game map jumped to when this report came up. There's Granada. Okay, in any case. They only took 7 casualties in that one. I took 107. 4 squads disabled, 6 destroyed, 1 vehicle disabled, 12 destroyed. So that did not go great for me at all. That is a yikes. Okay. Okay, and we've got... They conducted a cautious attack. I took 22 casualties. They apparently did not take any. This is... Caceres. Which again, where is that? Would like to know the precise location that these attacks are referring to. It's presumably around here somewhere. It's not making it obvious exactly where that is. Oh, we actually had a higher... Okay. Nationalist Conference attack. We took 14 casualties. They apparently didn't take any. Oviedo. Still can't figure out where that is. Oh, there it is. Oh, and it's got a target on it, telling me where the action took place. Okay. Defender AV 29, attacker 4. But again, it looks like I took 14 casualties, they didn't take any. Oh, okay. I need to be looking way over to the left of where the map jumps me to, apparently. Alright, and they took an undefended hex. Okay, that's fair. Alright, another combat summary. Oh, this one's over to the right. So right there. And again, it doesn't look like they've taken any casualties. I have taken fairly light casualties. Well, 10 casualties, but out of how many troops, I'm not sure. Okay, and in Gijon, the Nationals have conducted an artillery barrage. Suffered a civilian casualty. Ah, okay, and this time that fight has taken place. Ah, this is Madrid, or near Madrid. Okay, and now this time both sides have taken casualties, relatively even casualties. They suffered 9, I suffered 12. Where is this? Ah, okay. Granada. Okay, so... Okay, and that's how they achieved such lopsided casualties. They have a very high artillery value. So they suffered 19 casualties, I suffered 113. They are definitely doing pretty well in Granada. I am going to need to reinforce that. With what and how? Okay. Nationalist attack. With apparently no combat value at all, and managed to inflict 20 casualties. Okay, attacker now controls 3 of the 5 nautical miles in the hex. Man, I thought the hexes were, 5 nautical miles wide. So that's, length. But each hex is an area. So it isn't 5 square or 5 hexagonal miles. It'll be a larger number, something like 25 nautical miles, square nautical miles. 5 nautical miles in width should be 25 square nautical miles. So they have taken... Well, they've taken 60% of the area of that hex in any case. Okay. They have advanced. Alright. Okay, and... Okay, that's where that's taken place. Very even casualties there. Cautious attack, alright. Yep, and okay, so that's where that battle. They have taken an undefended base. I clearly need to start getting a little bit more aggressive. Okay, and they're conducting most of the attacks here. Oh, and looks like the same spot. Or a similar spot. Alright, they've taken an undefended hex. That is fine, I'm sure we'll get it back eventually. Right, and where is... Ah, okay, this battle is right over here. Doesn't look like any casualties on either side. Santa Cruz. They took 5 casualties. I apparently didn't take any. Oh, and 4 guns disabled. Ah, okay, there it is. Molina, no casualties, but they have gained ground, apparently. Alright, and right there, no casualties, but they have taken ground. Okay, very even casualties at Covadonga. Whatever, this war's gonna last for 3 years. I'll get better at my pronunciation of Spanish cities eventually, I'm sure. So they took 35 casualties, I took 34. Squads disabled is a lot higher for them than for me. Yeah, mostly they're conducting cautious attacks, which makes sense. We're both kind of feeling each other out at this point. They have taken an undefended hex. That one right there. Ah, okay, so that's the hex they started out in, and I didn't attack it. Oh, okay. Oh, and we're getting the fighting in Madrid. Okay, and I conducted a shock attack to kind of rush my troops in to help. I took 150 casualties and inflicted 37, so that didn't go great. Yeah, so duly noted. Where is this one? Ah, okay, so that is... Attacker took 6 casualties. That was a nationalist attack. City hits 1 to 19 civilian casualties, so we're estimating here, we don't know exactly. There's Guadalajara. Nationalist attack, they took 114 casualties, I took 12. Okay, I like that. I like those numbers. We are in Oviedo now. They took 113 oh, nope. I'm the attacker here. Republican shock attack. I took 113 casualties, apparently did not inflict any in return. So, ouch. Malaga. Okay, this is one of my attacks. I took 199 casualties, inflicted 58. So, about a 4-to-1 loss ratio. That's not great. Okay, and a deliberate attack. Where did I conduct that? That is... over here. Okay. I took 10 casualties, inflicted 16. So the deliberate attack got much better results. Well, I mean, very low casualties for both sides, but at least the ratio of casualties is more favorable. Republican shock attack. That is over here. And this time the shock attack worked out very well, inflicted heavy casualties on the enemy, 84 casualties. I apparently didn't suffer any casualties. There I conducted a cautious attack and took 12 casualties. Doesn't look like the enemy has a high combat value over there, so... Okay. What's going on here? Okay. It is 18 July, which means this is where I'll stop playing for today. I guess I'll figure out what kind of format am I actually going to do this in? Because this first turn definitely took... Yikes, how long did this first turn take? At least an hour, probably, so that is probably a video all on its own. But I was kind of hoping to do, like, week by week, because I do want to continue doing combat mission videos, so uploading a War in Spain video that's an hour long every single day would kind of drown out the combat mission videos. Yeah, definitely excited to get into this. I think between War in Spain and further games that are released on the same game engine in War in Spain, Combat Mission and Command Ops 2, I think you get the three of those together, I think, should give me a pretty excellent hands-on practical experience with land warfare at all scales. Command Ops 2 kind of picks up at the very lowest end at the scale, at the very largest scale of combat mission. You know, like the individual battalions scale attacks you'd order in Command Ops 2 are about the largest scenarios you'd find in a combat mission game, in a combat mission scenario. Whereas a Command Ops 2 operation would take place, or a Command Ops 2 battle would take place over, you know, a few of these hexes. Like, maybe a big one might take place across, like, 2 to 3 hexes wide, 2 to 3 hexes deep on this map. So, like, you can see the Command Ops scale within the resolution of this map, and on a Command Ops map, you could see the combat mission scale within the resolution of that map. So, between the three of them, you kind of get a smooth transition in scale, smoothish transition in scale from the very smallest scales in Combat Mission up to the very largest scales in War in Spain and future games on the same engine, with Command Ops filling in the middle portion of that. So, very excited to continue with this and continue making combat mission videos and get some Command Ops in at some point. Right then, okay. This first turn is probably going to be, first day of the war is going to be its own standalone video, I'm thinking at this point, since it took me so long to get through the first turn. And then from there, hopefully, I can do week by week. So War in Spain will take up one of my 3 videos a week, and the other 2 will probably still mostly be combat mission. It was meant to be the hotkey to stop recording. I need to be clicked out of the game, apparently, for OBS to register my keyboard shortcuts. So now we're going to stop recording.